even though it's often the system's heart and soul, you can't run all of your life's digital projects and goals entirely through Obsidian. And so in this video, I'm going to show you all of the other tools that I use to make sure that my business and the rest of my life runs smoothly. So here we are, aside from Obsidian, all the softwares that run my life. We will start off with a little bit of an introduction, I guess. So Obsidian has been a very core part of my workflow for a long time, going on a little bit more than 3 years now, I'd say, since 2022 summer when I started using it leading up to university. And since that point, I've used it to accomplish many things, not least graduating from said university degree, as well as starting this small business on the internet, teaching other people personal knowledge management, as well as my own kind of side projects, building websites for my photography and for my writing and things like that. And so Obsidian has worked at the core of things, but of course none of this would be possible without other tools to help me kind of streamline other parts of the workflow. And so the rest of these apps are going to be non-Obsidian apps, and they cover quite a wide range of different use cases and functions. And so you might learn something or find something new in here that you can try for yourself. And so first of all, Proton. If you don't know, Proton is a Swiss company that is kind of like a privacy-friendly alternative to Google. So they have a suite of software that's like Mail and Calendar and Drive and Docs and things like that. And they aim to be privacy-friendly. They're hosted in Switzerland. Their data laws are very, very secure, and they don't use your data to kind of corral a data set on you that they can send to third parties that they can use to tailor their advertising and things like that. And so I was using Google Workspace for my own business operations, kind of answering emails and running all of the other kind of back-end administrative tasks that the business needed. And you have this entire admin dashboard for Google Workspace, which is just another additional app on top of all of the apps that Google gives you already. And it was difficult to kind of add separate business domains. So I wanted support.parazettel.com and theo.parazettel.com. Those are my emails, so email me if you want. But anyway, I found it difficult to work with this, and it was bloated as well. I didn't get much storage space, and eventually I made the transition over to Proton, and now I have Proton Business Suite, which is €15 per month for, at least for a solo business owner like myself, one seat, €15 per month. I get a terabyte of storage. I get email, which is much easier to set up all of your separate domains within one inbox. I get calendar features and docs features, but it's mainly the email and Drive features that I use myself. And they also have a VPN and a password manager. So it's nice just to have everything into one spot with like a reputable and safe and trustworthy company as well. And so aside from the kind of front end stuff that I use in the business, most of it that's going on behind the scenes, like where I answer my emails and things like that, come from Proton. And I've been very satisfied so far. It's cheap and it's privacy friendly and very useful. And next is Setup. And again, I'm sure you've seen many people kind of flogging Setup to you, and I have my own link. I'm not going to put it in this video because I don't want to take attention away from Obsidian and Parazettel, my own business. However, I have been using Setup for about the last year and a half now. I used it for a few months, and then I got their Black Friday deal as a student, and I've used it all the way for a year up until now. And there are a lot of different apps and little tools that I like to use with Setup, and this makes it very useful and very streamlined to do all of your workflows on the back end, because when you're like myself and you own a business as a one person thing, it's great because you don't have to pay for extra seats in a lot of softwares, but you have to be pretty good at everything on the back end. And that means whether it's design or writing or the general admin. And to do all of these things, often it's nice to have a number of different tools to help you do so. And Setup has a lot of these great utilities like Paste, which you can see here, which just kind of is like a clipboard history. And you can store a lot of different things inside of there for really, really quick access. And other things like clean shots. So if I want to screenshot things, you can see I can do that. And I've got very quick access to editing tools for my screenshots and things like that. And all of those come with the one-off price of buying Setapp for the year, and you get this little app store that you can install stuff from, and it's very useful. Even if it is just kind of small applications, I wouldn't use it for anything big. But it helps you cut corners on all the little tasks that you might have to do day by day when you're doing your own projects yourself. And so I like Setapp, and I've been using it for a long time now. I think it's very cool. Next, I used to have Adobe until about, I think they cancelled my plan officially today, but I uninstalled everything Adobe and moved all of my stuff off Adobe Creative Cloud and all of their suite of apps and softwares finally like 2 days ago. And I was quite disappointed really, because I'd used Adobe, admittedly student accounts and things, seeing as I was a student up until this point, but I've used Adobe for maybe 6 or 7 years now, and it was a very core part of the creative work that I was doing. And so, I had to find alternatives. I had to find tools to switch to. And for video editing, this has become CapCut and Screen Studio, which is the tool that I'm using to actually record this and have the kind of nice background. And you see like the animations when I move the cursor and things like that. They all work very well. Luminar Neo is like a bit like a Lightroom, so you've got all the sliders to adjust and edit your images. And Photomator is something similar as well, except from Apple, so you can use it kind of on your mobile and things like that. I've not got much in terms of progress updates or conclusions to draw on these tools at the moment, but we will see. I will come back to them because I've only just started using them, and it'll be interesting, I think, because Adobe has been, like I said, such a big part of the kind of visual element and design stack and kind of creative work that I've created outside of this business and outside of my writing. I use Affinity as well. That's a good point. I've just brought that up. Canva acquired Affinity, I believe. The company that did kind of like Affinity Photo and Affinity Illustrator, and to be like a direct competitor with Adobe. They created an all-in-one app that does all of the things like Photoshop, Illustrator, Lightroom, etc. And I've been using it for like my other design things that aren't video editing or photo editing as well. So like thumbnail designs and business asset designs as well. And again, very, very good. I don't have much in the way of like an advanced or serious workflow, because I don't get paid for my creative stuff. I do it for the love of it, or I do it as kind of a nice add-on on top of the business stuff that I do here. So it's good to have good tools, but unfortunately Adobe wasn't the one for me following their large price hike. Next, Helium. That is my browser of choice at the moment after Arc disappeared. And so if I take you to it, this is the Parazetto community, actually, by the way. And if you use the top link in the description, you can get inside and get the free, or now free, formerly paid and premium product, the Parazetto for Obsidian Vault. Also a demo video of me running through my Obsidian system as well. And so you know how to use it, how I use it. Anyway, the browser Helium, as you can see here, is like a Chromium browser, but it's very minimal. Like when you open up a new tab, nothing appears. It uses all of your Chrome extensions, just fits in perfectly, and it's simple. It's really simple. But as you probably know by now, I like a simple application. I like something that just works, and of course Chromium works as like a browser infrastructure or whatever you might call it. And Chromium, with all of the bells and whistles and Google accounts and ads and things taken out of it, is just perfect. And that's what Helium has been for me so far. I liked Arc, but I uninstalled it along with all of the Adobe apps because the browser, what are they called? The browser company stopped pushing regular updates to the app and focused on their AI-based browser as well, called Dia. I don't use that. I've tried it. Not in the mood for all of those extra additional features. And so Helium does what I need it to, like progressive web apps. So I've got one here for YouTube Music, for example, so I can have that as a separate app on my page. Typefully, which is my social media post scheduler, so you can see it comes up as almost like a separate app, which is really useful. I quite like that feature. And Helium does all of this perfectly, and I've really enjoyed using it so far. Finally, Raycast, that's this tool here in the middle of the screen. I might bring it over just so that we can kind of get it on this side of the screen. But all you can do here is search apps, launch apps. What else have we got here? Helium. And you can build in loads of different things into Raycast as well. It has a clipboard history the same way that Paste does. And it has also snippets and things like that. So you can take content that you normally paste. So I've got my YouTube description in here. So I don't have to write that out every single time. It's like templates for Obsidian, except for your entire computer. And that's just a very small selection of all the features that they put inside of the app. You can go in here and look at all of the other extensions. You can see all the ones that I've turned off that you might want to use as well. And there's also a store, so you can integrate with all of the apps that you have on your computer. So like if you use Spotify, you can get a Spotify player and Spotify controls like that. If you use Chrome, then there's kind of different profiles or tabs or things you can use with Chrome. The same with Arc and even with Obsidian. But I've just tended to use Obsidian in and of itself. But there's a lot of different kind of extensions and useful bits and pieces in there that will help you kind of stay on top of things and automate a lot of your workflow as well. So like speed test, internet speed, you can get that as well. So that's good news. Seems to be crashing out of the sky though at the moment, the internet speed. You see how far that's gone down, but upload speed's pretty good anyway. So I should be able to get this video to you just after recording and editing. But you see what I mean? It's set output device. You can change that as well, but I'm not going to try and mess that around at the moment because I'm recording and I don't want to lose the audio. Anyway, Raycast, fantastic. Launch your apps. Get calculators. So like I'm in Vietnam at the moment. So if I wanted to know what 150,000 dongs were, I put that in, find out it's £4.34. I bought a new lighter earlier, so I can find out exactly how much I paid for that as well. Just useful little tools like that, all built into one app that you can very quickly launch with a command. They've got their own AI features now as well. So if you've got language models that you like to chat to, you can put your API keys in. You can kind of store all of your chats and chat with all the different features on your computer as well. So I used to do this with Calendar. Add an event for August 2026 across the whole month called August. And its AI kind of integrates with all of the different tools across your computer. And if I do that, then you should be able to see there. See, it's created an event, and so I like to do that. So just the other day I bought a bus ticket, and I just used a setup tool called Text Sniper. I sniped the text, so you can see how that text has just been sniped off Raycast. I did that for my ticket. I put it in here, and it put the event into my calendar. And again, just lots of useful workflow shortcuts, and that is why I like Raycast. Claude is my LLM of choice. I use the desktop app, as you can see down here, for my general chats. I've also been building websites as well. So you can see them, the new one at parazettel.com, where I've now got space to write a hell of a lot more than I did just on the one pager that I had previously. And tstox.com, which is my personal site, which has my own essays and things like that. I might be able to link all of these in the description as well. And also tstophoto.com as well, which is my photo portfolio. And that was another thing that I could then move away from Adobe, stop using Adobe Portfolio, and instead use just Claude to be able to code myself a custom website. And I like it more than ChatGPT. I just find that especially the Claude Code tool has fitted really nicely into my workflow, and also the ability to build artifacts, as they're called in Claude, which are kind of little tools that Claude will code for you to do certain functions. I found that quite useful too. I'm not a massive power user of AI, but when I do want to use it, Claude is what I go for. And those are all of the tools, or a large selection of the best of the tools that I use to run my business and my digital life outside of doing all of the knowledge management in Obsidian. And I hope you've enjoyed watching and have maybe found a tool in here that you can use for yourself. Check out Parazettle as a template for your own personal knowledge management, a great place to start and build up from. You can get it for free at the top link in the description, alongside a demo vid of me using the system in my own vault and in the template vault when you enter into the Parazettle community. And that is it from me for now, and I will see you next time.